So is DeAndre Hopkins going to end up with the Green Bay Packers? That's the hot rumor as the NFL playoffs get set to start tomorrow. This is the Fantasy Sports Plus. Hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. We're into the offseason already in terms of fantasy football, with fantasy football championships having been decided a couple of weeks ago. And with the Arizona Cardinals out of the playoffs and their quarterback Kyler Murray looking at a lengthy rehab from his torn up knee, likely not going to be ready for the start of the season. The reports have been rampant that DeAndre Hopkins is going to be traded at some point during the offseason. This is what Hopkins wants. He sees a sinking ship and his career as a plus 30-year-old receiver, eventually coming to a close in the next couple of years. So the window is closing for him to win a championship, and that's why behind back channels, Hopkins has requested a trade and is going to be accommodated by the Cardinals, who want to get out of that contract anyway. Now, the hot rumor is that the Green Bay Packers are going to be the team that Hopkins winds up going to. Hopkins has preferred, again, according to back channel reports, and Ian Rappaport also discussed this, that he prefers to go to Green Bay. And Aaron Rodgers wants Hopkins to join as well. Now, Rodgers is deciding whether he wants to retire or not. I think it's just all posturing like Rodgers does. We go through this every year with him. Is he going to retire? Is he not? I think he does this. He floats it out there that he might retire in order to put pressure on the front office to get him weapons. And DeAndre Hopkins, as good of a weapon, at least in terms of who could be available, as anybody. So Hopkins proved last season, coming back from the steroid suspension and a down year the previous year in 2021. He still is an alpha ace wide receiver one, a low-end one. He's not the high-end wide receiver one he was with the Houston Texans, but he was swimming along there as putting up low-end wide receiver one numbers with Murray on the field. Once Murray went out and then the bottom really fell out on the offense, then Hopkins saw his numbers really just go down sharply. However, picturing Hopkins with Aaron Rodgers, that right off the bat in terms of fantasy football is a very promising, optimistic, enticing development if it does come to fruition. Rodgers needs an ace receiver. Alan Lazard's a solid wide receiver 3. Romeo Doubs, his ceiling looks like he's a wide receiver 3. Christian Watson could be a high-end wide receiver 2. I don't think he's going to catch enough balls and be consistent enough to be a wide receiver 1, but Hopkins certainly can be a wide receiver 1. He absolutely could be a wide receiver 1 with Aaron Rodgers. So this bears watching. And again, if this move does come to fruition, I think DeAndre Hopkins goes right in that low-end wide receiver 1 tier once again for 2023 fantasy football. And Rodgers would get a small bump as well, although really at his advancing age and his limited mobility now, I wouldn't be using him in single quarterback leagues. All right, hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. More videos on the way.